How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Counterside video. We got our patch notes and we got our March preview all in one. But before I jump into that, there was one little bit of news that was released in a KR dev note kind of thing. The dev note, I don't have it pulled up or anything because the majority of the information was all the same as stuff they had already told us in our own dev note. But there was one little bit of information that they gave that we didn't get, so I wanted to go ahead and tell everybody about it. So just in case you hadn't heard or you hadn't seen, because I'm sure it has been talked about on Reddit or something a little bit, they're supposed to be changing Shadow Palace back to the way it was prior to the new Origin update. That's all the Google Translate says of it, really, is that they're basically reverting it back. Doesn't really give specifics if it's going to be the entire complete system of the coordinates you get, 1 a day up to 7 max. Don't know if the shop's coming back. Don't know if the crafting, schematics you have to buy with the materials back. Didn't go over all that, but it is supposed to be changing back. So keep our eyes out for maybe some better translated or more information on that. Who knows? It might be in this patch note. I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there before I forgot about it. There's one piece of news that came out after I recorded last week that I just wasn't enough there to make a whole video on the one thing, so I was waiting to see if something else was released, or if anything, tell you now when the patch notes drop. So, patch notes have dropped. There you go. That being said, let's get into the patch notes for the 1st of March. I'm not expecting a whole lot here. This is probably going to be a pretty small patch notes. And considering we're starting off with a returning operator, yeah, it feels that way. This is it's a no maintenance patch though. So, Mansion Master banner, we don't care. Rachel Dodds, we don't care. New challenge stage. Oh, the innovation, the Alpha Tricks, exclusive equipment mission. It's gonna be back up. Good deal. We can farm some Alpha Tricks EEs. Let's go. Maybe I can finally get a balance breaker, because it would not craft for me last time. Tried so hard. So Danger Close, right? New month, new season of Danger Close. Looks like Nervier is up this season. So we'll say, after having played the new Danger Close with Yamata Orochi with that last month, I like the new system, and it, though, because there's only the one boss and the way the points work, it is definitely pushing towards trying to get you to get a kill on that highest difficulty with some. It's just getting a kill to get the point requirements, and if you want the score requirements, you are definitely having to make use of those debuff point bonus things. So overall, I like it. I was able to get a kill on Orochi, and with pretty much every other Danger Close boss, I always got pretty close, so I can probably manage kills now. It's just a matter of getting those point modifiers and stuff. So, big tip for Danger Close, by the way, if you didn't notice this or you didn't think about trying this, give it a day or two if you really want. And then take a look at the top score, whoever's in the first place in score, and see what team they're rocking, and see if you can replicate it to some extent, or check out second and third place. You can use the top scorers. You can check out their teams. So it's a good way to kind of find a good team if you're not really sure what to go with. Because I know there are guides on Pridewin and stuff, and they're really helpful. But sometimes the guides just tell you good units, doesn't really tell you how you should build with the particular buff that's in effect for them or whatnot. So you can always look at the top scoring teams and kind of replicate to the best of your ability. But yeah, that looks like that's it for the patch notes itself. Not too surprising on that one. Didn't really expect a whole lot, so that's cool. I will say that just while I'm thinking about it, they did actually make a change to the HoloLive collab, which was a very good change. It doesn't fix the jankness of that collab overall, but it is nice. They made the skin you get from doing all the missions, they didn't make it a selector. instead of random, so that's pretty cool. Anything interesting in the shop? Hyper level up package, hyper skill training package, hyper limit break, and weekly resource package. Ooh, that medicine's kicking in. Yeah, no, these are all typical packages. We've seen these 100 times. Nothing really to talk about there. So yeah, that's the patch notes. Not much to say there. We don't summon on operator banners. Don't summon on operator banners. Just don't do it. But Alpha Tricks, EEs to farm, and new season of Danger Close because it started the month. Very cool. Now, the real exciting thing is our Counterside Global March 2023 preview. So there's the image. Here, I can open the image in a tab all of its own, and we'll zoom in. Where's my zoom button? There we go. We'll zoom in a little bit. So our event episode Carnival, and you can see her right there in the art in all of her glory, is Maestra Nikishia. And it's fairly likely we'll get the, I think there's two more Elysium Philharmonic units. So very likely going to see them drop as well. In the image here, you can see Maestra Nikishia and Carmen, I believe is her name. So we'll definitely look forward to seeing them. Those are very obvious coming out this month, probably next week, honestly. I would not be surprised. So we have the event episode My Wish Is, and you can see 3 characters here in the art that we can take a look at in a minute. Counterpass for Moors. I did not know Moors was a counterpass, so that's new to me. I guess I missed that in all my looking up of counterpass units, but that's very exciting. I love Moors, so I'm very happy to go ahead and get Moors. So very cool. Otherworld Delivery Disaster. This looks like an April Fool's event because of the art. Like I associate this with like an April Fool's kind of thing, but it's March. I don't know what this is. We'll find out when this goes live. I checked Pride one already. This is still pretty fresh, and so they haven't quite posted any insider information from C and KR players that have played and know what some of these events are. What's really interesting about our March preview here is right here in the rearms. So we are getting Han Sorum. That's nothing too surprising. Han Sorum's had a rearm for a while now. I think it's like 4 months, 4 or 5 months in KR. So we're getting that in the global / JP side. What's interesting here is Casey Benz. Casey is a new rearm for KR. Like, this was just announced like right before the Origin update that Casey was getting a rearm. So this is going to be a rearm that looks to be dropping on KR and global at the same time. So that's kind of cool. So very excited to see how that works and how Casey is with a rearm. So that's cool. Love to see it. They do show rearm units here with Han and Casey, but the question is, are those the only rearms we're getting this month, or what's happening with that? We don't really know. Yeah. So what we can look at, though, is the units that we can infer and or see we should be getting based off this preview. Kind of starting with this event episode, My Wish Is. So the first one we see there is Leona, and overall the Pride one has her ranked at like a B unit. She is good damage for a 3-cost employee with a great design. She's just really slow and out of paper. So pretty standard B. You know, I've used some units that Pride one ranks at B a couple times before, and they're still good units. So cool unit. Worth really going in on? Maybe not, but if you like her, if you really like her design, if you know she's who you want, then yeah, definitely worth maybe throwing some tickets at her. From the image, we can also see here Skia Crow. You right there. She's asleep. She's an A rank unit, so a good unit. She's a ranger, mech, soldier. Getting all three, all of it in there. She has a use in Shadow Palace. This is the old Shadow Palace ranking here. I want to make that clear. But if it's going back to the way it was, so maybe that's still the same. Kind of don't know what to make of that. She's got survival passes. She's a backline ship access, average damage with ramp up time required. So, and very typically she wants, you know, Spectral Blaze, attack speed stuff, as most mechs and soldiers do. And her being both, not too surprising. But A overall in Pride Win, so cool unit. And we can also see right here Dorothy. So Dorothy also A overall, pretty good unit. She's got like S, and it's funny because she's A overall because it's a bunch of S's, and then when it's not an S, it's typically a B. So like B in Relic and Dive, but S in Shadow Palace, Co-op, Raids. Great buffs that help the whole team. Good damage, CC abilities for 3 cost immunity frames on her skills, allow her to survive longer. She's squishy, like she's easily killed when she doesn't have her immunity. So very squishy, and you won't be able to keep her buffs up permanently due to RNG. So. There's her downsides. Overall, A rank unit, sniper, soldier. So, very cool. Also, we know, obviously, Maester Nikishia. PvE A, but Nikishia's really good in PvP. And pretty solid in, you know, pretty solid in PvE too. Like, the fact that she got an A, it's just because there's more A's here than there are S's. But double S's too. Massive damage application during ultimate. Nearly unstoppable when paired with the faction install units like Grimoire and Raphael. Map-wide skill seal. That's huge for PvP, I know that. The debuffs can be avoided by redeploying and highest base cost in the game. She is a 7 deployment cost unit. So, very much worth taking into account. But she's great in raids, good in story, great in Shadow Palace. Good in co-op, danger close, dives, and relic dungeons, and she's really good in PvP. Map-wide skill seal in PvP is no joke. So, yeah, Maestra Nikishia Tower, counter CO. I can't say as much as I love Nikishia's design, and I do really want her. I probably will be skipping her, unfortunately. There's just a lot of really cool, really good Awakened units to come. And it's just like, I kind of want to hold some resources available, but at the same time, I've managed to summon for pretty much every Awakened unit that's come out. I haven't gotten all of them when they've come out, of course, but I've summoned for all of them, so I kind of want to keep that trend going. So we'll see what happens, but I don't foresee myself really summoning. If I do, it's like I'm going to throw maybe 1 or 2 multis. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then I forgot to open her page ahead of time, but Carmen. So Carmen, very, very good supporter, counter CO. Heart of Elysium Philharmonic. So if you want to run the full team, she's just a good unit in general and will very much complement Nikishia. So, I mean, look at that. Like, just there's nothing under an S that she's good at. Instant healing on special. Nice synergy with other CO and Maestro. Debuff removal and immunity on special can be pretty clutch. Super high attack range and high base evasion allow her to survive in the battlefield. Annoying map-wide hit stun on her ult. That's a PvP pain right there, that's for sure. Moves super slowly. Her special heals targets near the explosion, so only the front line will be healed. Fair. Countered by buff lock, ult can still be refluxed. Gotta watch out for that reflux. So, overall, very good unit, very strong supporter, and a 3 cost. Really good 3 cost supporter with healing there. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. This is a unit that you want to use blue tickets on, and as you all know if you watched my summon video, I don't have any of those left. So, I'm gonna have to start holding on to those, because she's probably coming within the next week or 2. So, save up at least 10, 20 blue tickets maybe. Yeah, right. Like, as if I'm gonna get that much. But, that's what's coming. Oh, yeah, let's take a look at Moors. I can pull Moors up as well. I didn't think to pull Moors up either for some reason. So, Moors faction, Demon type CO. Interesting. CO Mech, Defender. If we look down here, pretty much B. Like I said earlier, B doesn't mean bad. B is still usable. B is still good. A little bit better towards PvP. It has some use in dives and Relic Dungeon. Can tank pretty well. Massive 20% damage resist helps a lot. Damage amplification, it's always nice. Being a CO, Moors receives more healing from Carmen. Also really nice. Countered by healing reflux. Of course, anything with any kind of like innate healing, that does obviously happen. 0 base evasion, that's pretty rough, but it makes sense. Slightly high cost for what she offers. And that's probably her biggest downside, is that she's a full cost defender with not offering anything particularly special in her kit. So that's all the new units coming in March that we can pretty much confirm. There's a Hansorm rearm who is pretty good rearm. Of the SR to SSR rearms, definitely a little bit up there. Not one of the best, I don't think. I could pull it up, but rearms aren't as exciting, so I don't know that if anybody really wants me to pull it up. But what's really exciting is the Casey Bins, so that is really interested to see how that works, because that'll be new for, you know, both regions getting it at the same time. Sorry I don't have more information about the Otherworld delivery disaster, but yeah, that is our patch notes and our March 2023 preview. March's got a lot of stuff to look forward to in March. Pretty excited to see it. I've seen some people who aren't too fond of the way the new events work with being perma added in the shop. It's okay. I mean, it doesn't bother me one way or another. Doesn't really feel that different. It just feels like the shop itself is a little bit more underwhelming in comparison to what they were before, because not all of the limited stuff is in there. Some of it, you know, is in the missions, and then like the backgrounds are just automatically in like the credit shop over in the if you go to the shop tab. So the actual shop tab. So it's not as bad. I actually like that more, being able to use credits for those instead of having to farm the resources when I can then farm the resources for the other things. But that's the way the events go for it. So like it or not, that's how they work. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think overall it's a good thing. So, but do make sure you're up to date on your story, your side stories and stuff, because those story locks that will be in place will very much be a thing. So you need to make sure you have cleared them all. So make sure you work on that and make some progress on that. And yeah, March is looking to be pretty exciting. I know there's a lot here that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I hope you all are looking forward to it. Tell me, what here are you looking forward to the most? This is more, you know, the March preview than the patch notes, but, you know, all together. So let me know what you're looking forward to. Are you going to be summoning for Maestro Nikishia? Are you summoning for any of these units? Are you excited for Moors? Just let me all know in the comments down below. Hit like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Counterside videos, and yeah, eventually maybe other things, but definitely more Counterside videos. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.